I grew up in Hue, Vietnam. I was born in Saigon, but my family is from Hue. That's central part of Vietnam. So in 1975, I was only 8 or 9 back then, and we had to leave our country because there was a war going on. The communists, northern Vietnam, tried to take over the whole country, and our parent fled to avoid communism and to have a better life for their children.
Was about 10 years old, so I remember quite a bit. I remember going from Hue. We were running and saw people dying in the streets, bomb exploding. It was pretty scary. I had to jump through a small boat, and then we went onto the barges, and we drifted out in the sea in the barges for days without food and water. Oh my gosh, we were just scared, really, really scared, and I think just praying that we will survive.
In the middle of the ocean, we were attacked by pirates, and I remember we were saved by a big American vessel. So we were fortunate. We were rescued by the vessel, and we were fortunate that we were able to stay on the vessel because at one point the vessel was too heavy and they weren't able to keep everybody on board. So they had to drop off a bunch of people on an island. But we were one of the fortunate family that was able to stay on the vessel, and then from there we parted in Fort Chaffee, um, where we set camp there for a while, until we got sponsored by a Christian family in Olivia, Minnesota. I just remember my first time in the United States. It was very cold.
When we went to Minnesota, when the church sponsored us, it was a totally different environment because we were the only Asian family in a white community. So it was really, an adjustment.
We were accepted very warmly, and we were one of the only Asian family in the city. So we stayed there for almost, I believe, 5 years. I went to school there and was taught English, made a lot of friends. Um, but my parents decided to move to California because the weather was too cold and there was more opportunity for them in California job wise.
Since you were like older when you came over here, did you like feel like you faced a lot more like hardships or like?
Yeah, especially up where the first year in Minnesota is not that bad. Mostly, yeah. When we moved here, yeah, especially when I had to go to school, we don't have too much Asian at that time, so there's a lot of bullying.
Bullying?
Yeah, but I was aggressive type, and I fight a lot,
Yeah.
right? But a lot of people, make fun of you, things like that. The thing is, I was very nervous. I don't get shy, and I don't speak the language. So when I go to school, I don't understand anything.
Yeah.
There's nobody speak Vietnamese and English. So when I go to the first year when I was school, I just put my hand down and just like this in every single class.
It was hard. It was really hard because we were harassed a lot. I mean, they always called us, like back then it was nips, nips and gooks, and we got a lot of harassment, like growing up. A lot.
And like, how did that make you feel, like, being a Vietnamese American, like, and facing all those like?
I think it made me stronger. Like, I think, people go either direction. Like, some people that I know, they get embarrassed by it and they don't want, like, then they start acting like they're not Vietnamese, right? But I was opposite. Like, I wanted to protect my people, I still felt like Vietnam, even though I don't know anything about the country, I loved my people. And like, throughout the years too, there was always people that came over after us that were more like, they call it like fobs, fresh off the boat. So they would come to school like wearing high waters or speaking in a really broken accent. and they used to get harassed all the time. And me and my girlfriends, I mean, we hated the bullies, so we actually used to get into a lot of fights at school, and it was never because of us. It was always because we were protecting. I mean, and they weren't even our friends. We were protecting girls that we didn't even know.
How was like your family life, like growing up and stuff like that?
You know, you just have to work really hard. Only why we're never home. Like, Auntie Wen, our oldest sister, she was the one that raised us practically. Her and Becky, they had the responsibility of like kind of being like our second parent because only one worked like double shifts. I mean, from the second, they didn't even walk us to school. I was in kindergarten all the way up to like however old I was. Auntie Wen had to leave school, so she had to pick me up from kindergarten, walk me home, and leave me. I had to sit. So my instructions from everybody at the house, which was literally, so Auntie Wen, I think they would like already have like food ready for me. So like maybe they had like a sandwich or whatever, and they would turn on the TV, and for 3 hours, that I just had to sit there. I mean, and they had to trust that that was what happened. I mean, if I opened the door and just laughed, then I would have disappeared. I mean, we had to really learn the hard way to, take care of ourselves as we did. We had to. We didn't have any other choice. So,
America, like how do you identify yourself as now, since like you've now been living here for so long, and like our families have like adopted, American traditions as well?
We see it as a we're Vietnamese American. Of course, we're Asian rooted, we're Vietnamese, and we will always have that in us. And we have the best of both worlds. You're embracing the American culture, your freedom and our will to, independence.
I felt like I was an American, right? The only thing that I was able to hold on to, like culture-wise, was, what our parents told us, what our families taught us, and I think that because our family was very cultured, and that we really believed in like being like a Vietnamese American, like not just becoming like American.
Of course, growing up in the United States, now I identify myself as a Vietnamese American, but I still cherish and honor the Vietnamese tradition because my parents has always taught us about where we came from, about our heritage and culture, and I would like to instill that in my children as well, to keep our culture and to have it remaining as an important factor in our life.